my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading, it's my August filming, but sort of August-September, general reading for the Chinese sign of Dragon. So, general reading rules apply, timing's not absolute. If someone else appears in the reading, I can get you and them mixed up because the cards don't come with name tags, so it seems like a fairly solitary reading on first glance. The only other bit of housekeeping to say is there is a link to a Facebook page for this channel down in the description below, where obviously I post these videos because useful, you know, now that YouTube email notifications have disappeared. But also I post the astrology videos that I'm learning from, certainly all the forecast stroke weather report astrology videos anyway. So I think that's it for the housekeeping. My apologies that this is a bit later than I had intended. I can't even speak. Work's been crazy, what can I say? Right, let's bring the cards up, Dragon, and it strikes me that you are in a time with a great deal of potential and a great deal of chaos, and you are being asked to look within yourself for your higher qualities. Looking at the bottom of the decks I should say, we have the Star card. Wisdom is coming in, wishes can be granted. Death card, change is coming in. The King to the Page of Coins from the In-Between Tarot is implying that it's time now for work to be done. And Five of Cups reversed, followed immediately by Five of Cups the right way up. That's the second time that's happened today, and believe me, these are well shuffled. Which is almost indicating that there is a loss. I mean, there's loss that I can see prior. You've already had this loss. It's not a loss that's is here in the reading. It's a loss that has happened, but it's also saying that it doesn't matter. Depending on what that loss is, that could be a sensitive statement, but it is time to move on, I think, is what it's definitely saying. Now, we have, for the Oracle cards, we have Mountain, which indicates an obstacle in your way that it is best to move around. Don't try and climb it. Don't try and chisel your way through it. Just be like water and flow around it. Find a different way. And we have Fragmented Energy. Now, this sometimes is a really positive card for me because it always strikes me as the multidimensionality of self. How there's a bit of you here, and there's a bit of you in the past life, and there's bits of you in the future lives, and there's bits of you, if you're into the starseed things, there's bits of you on other planets, there's bits of you in other realities, taking the Hugh Everett's many world theory as gospel. But right now, I think you are being called to identify as many bits as you can and call them home. And the camera just went really weird there, so hopefully that is emphasizing what I am saying and not telling me that I'm wrong. Because I haven't got that same sense of beauty with the fragmented energy this time. I see nothing wrong with all the jigsaw pieces floating around this lady here. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's natural. However, what I do feel is that she's, I was going to say blissfully unaware, but it's not blissfully. She's unaware of them floating around her. And it's almost like you are being called to bring parts of yourself home. Now, we start in the middle here with the Tower to the Star card, which is fortune taking an upturn, things getting better. But you have to decide what it is that you want to take away from the disaster that has recently occurred and what you don't want to take away from the disaster that has occurred, because you are in a very good place at the moment. Hexagram 11 is Earth above heaven, which is showing how all things, all seasons are underpinned or are on the foundation of the whims of heaven. That could sound a bit double-edged, but there is, what I'm really drawn to is that idea of seasons. Yes, excuse me. Yes, this loss has occurred. There has been disaster. There has maybe been some secrets and lies that you needed to clear out, but you're in the process and you've pretty much near finished. But what is interesting is starting here with the Two of Cups. So there's a unity, bringing something together. Clarified by the Fool card. So this unity starts a new beginning, but this is the, oh, what do you call it? Where's the box? I don't know, I can't see it. The Secret Tarot? Tarot of the New Vision, sorry. Tarot of the New Vision, which is the, like the Rider-Waite cards, but turned around. The viewpoint is from 180 degrees in the other direction. So you're looking, it's almost like we are looking through the card and back out again. And you'll notice here, this Fool is racing towards disaster. He's racing towards a exploding volcano and doesn't care. And so two messages implicit in that. One, be careful about where you're going and be aware of the obstacles that are around you. I do believe with this Knight of Swords, it's saying that there are ones that you're going to have to face. You know, and not only that, you want to face them. You want to put yourself in the position where these obstacles are an issue. But when you get to the obstacles, you need to move around them. So you're not going towards a problem to solve it. You're going towards a problem to learn how to sidestep it. And this will be a guided process. There will be times when you are being given shelter and assistance in this if you are staying true to a dream that is the reason why you are racing towards this. Yeah, it's going to be a balancing act. Who'd have thunk? But this Emperor card, right, what I'm getting from that is stay within the rules. Recognise the authorities that are around, especially with King to the Page of Wands is a card that talks about being humble. You know, if you are a public servant, then you are a public servant. Not king, public servant. And if you have that humility with the obstacles that you are coming to face, where it's not that you need to solve the problems, it's that you need to go up to the problems and say, right, what direction can I go from here where this is not a problem? Because I've got as far as I can, and that was the right thing to do. But now I've got this block that may well be imposed by some form of legislative or edict or rule that has been imposed on a situation, and no humility that you have to abide by that rule to find the way to sidestep the problem. And if you do that, then indeed you are moving as heaven wills. You are moving still to your destination. And don't get me wrong, you were hurtling towards some form of problem, disaster, and that was the right thing. But you knew that going in, and you knew that there's points where you're going to have to take a risk. Temperance reversed with the Knight of Wands, or that rather makes me think it's come up with in a reading already today. So there's obviously a lot of risk taking this month, couple of months. But whereas in a previous reading it was almost like screw the balance, here it's not screw the balance, is that this balance is something that you are not within your power to affect. So you need to move around it, because anything that you do at this problem, at this obstacle, will only make things worse. Oh, there's cheerful. But you well have the ability to sidestep this problem, this issue, for you and others. Now, this 5 to the 6 of Cups is the only card that indicates the presence of others here. But you are not existing in a vacuum. What you do is affecting other people. And you can expect gentle guidance, not particularly abundant guidance, but gentle guidance and assistance while you are dealing with and releasing this loss that no longer matters. And the reason it no longer matters is because this has happened. Simple as that. It has happened. It is another chapter in your life that occurred, and now we have a new chapter. And if that is a severe loss, like the loss of a loved one or the loss of a job, well, if it's the loss of a loved one, then honour them by accepting that this now is a new chapter. If it's the loss of a job, you have no choice. It's a new chapter. And that's what this Fool is saying. And yes, things are going to get harder before they get better. But what this hexagram 11 is telling me is that things will get better. By being humble, you learn to listen to the guidance that is around you. And you end up, remember, the 9 of Pentacles lady is in a lovely garden, a lovely walled garden that is safe. She's, she is in her own environment. She is safe and secure. And I always see the number 9 as indicating rebirth. So you will be able to go into your own cocoon once you have sidestepped whatever this obstacle is. And whatever this obstacle is something that you were determined to head towards it. Yes, you've got to head towards it. But when you get there, it's like you pick up yourself, you pick up the others who this is affecting, and you step to one side and you find a new route that gets you, by the looks of things, to an even better place. And in the process, you are achieving some form of healing. And I am wondering whether this fragmented energy is showing that this is a healing journey that you are going through. But I tell you what, it's definitely a Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. But your heroism is not in solving the problem. Your heroism is removing yourself and others from the problem once you are there, being touched by the problem, whatever the problem is, whatever that volcano blowing up is. Because at the end of that, if you are remembering your humility and you are allowing yourself to go, okay, I've accepted this loss, other people have helped me heal this, and I've helped me heal this, and I understand that the guidance is still there. I have taken what I needed from the previous experiences, but I have left what I don't need. And it's almost, I feel like there may have been a dream or an aim that you'd had that has been shattered, and that's what this loss is. But you get to the point where you are emotionally okay with this and recognizing I've never seen that before in this card, but recognizing that this is a new time. On this King of Cups, again, Tarot, the New Visions, There's the ark on the top of the mountain. Just just there. You notice that if I bring it closer, you might notice. So this is at the start of the world post-flood, that this king is coming. Even if he's coming sailing in on his stone throne and was never on the ark in the first place, because why would he need to be? His stone throne floats. But he's seeing that somebody has arrived, whether that's you or whether that's somebody else. And it may well be that they have arrived because they're the ones to solve the problem, not you. Your job is to get yourself and possibly others away from this problem so that the people who can solve it can solve it. And it's going to be quite the education. Looking deeper here. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. It's a majestic radiance that will only shine when you're not stood there trying to do the Care Bear stare and shine your light upon everyone. Because, yeah, your lights, you feel like your light has had a knock. You feel like your light has been dimmed recently. No, it hasn't. It's just your awareness of it has been dimmed recently. And your sense of direction had been dimmed recently, but there's a new direction coming. Clarity will come fast when it comes. But whatever this is saying is that there is one problem coming up, that you're heading off in a certain direction after a loss. You're heading straight to a situation where you know there is going to be a problem. And that's when your job is to go, okay, I'm here at the problem. Now let's just walk over here and walk around it, go past it, go in a different direction, change of direction. Now I pulled a verse from the Tao Te Ching, and I don't think I've pulled this one before in one of the readings. And I think this will explain sort of why I've gone the angle that I've gone with these cards, because it's verse number 38, living with magnanimity. 38 obviously collapsing to an 11, so this is a really important time for you, but you don't get important times without, I mean, Two of Cups, let's face it, we all know that the Major Arcana and the court cards are the important cards, but who among us does not rank the Two of Cups up there with them? But we have Two of Cups, Fool, Ace of Swords, wonderful clarity. We have an Emperor. We have a divine pairing, King and Queen of Chalices here. I didn't notice that. So this is a strong time for you. It's a strong time of balancing the twin pillars of wisdom, which 11 can represent. So, living with magnanimity. A man of great virtue is not aware of virtue. That is the reason he has virtue. A man of little virtue does not miss virtue. That's the reason that he has no virtue. The great virtue is when one does not do anything, yet everything is done. What was I saying about stepping back? The little virtue is when one does everything and yet something remains undone. See previous answer. A man of great humanity acts, yet he acts without purpose. A man of great justice acts, yet he acts with purpose. A man of great courtesy acts, and if no one responds, he rolls up his sleeves and tries to persuade them to respond. That is why when the Tao is lost, virtue appears. When virtue is lost, humanity appears. When humanity is lost, justice appears. And when justice is lost, courtesy appears. Courtesy is the superficial form of faith and trust. It is the beginning of disorder. A man of much knowledge results in the flourishing of the Tao. It is the beginning of foolishness. Therefore, a true man lives with magnanimity, renounces the frivolous, lives with simplicity, renounces the luxuriant. That is why he chooses the one and renounces the other. That is why you are heading purposefully straight towards a problem after a loss, and then you get there and you see, this is not my problem to solve. Let's get out of the way of it. Let's let the people who can solve this problem, and this is probably over-egging the sentiment, but get the hell on out of here. And that's when the clarity will come. That's when the Tao comes, and that's the beginning of the foolishness, where the full new beginning really comes into power. All it takes is a bit of looking deeper. Okay then, Dragon, that actually is, I don't envy you, but that's a really nice reading. This is actually a reading that I would suggest maybe watch more than once, you know, just so that you get all the clues and the cues to go, oh, and here's the time where we just exit stage left and move out of the way. Right, so thank you everybody for all the likes, shares and subscribes that you've given me so far, and keep doing it. It helps, it really helps. And your next readings will probably be in the monthlies if my recent work schedule has got anything to do with that. But hey ho, that's all due to change shortly. So yeah, good luck, Dragon. Good luck. This is taking you on a really good path, especially with that hexagram 11. Oh yeah, 1111. What a surprise. Cheers.